Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. I have a question for you. Do you know who Senator Chuck Grassley is from the great state of Iowa? There he is. Hello, Senator Grassley. Well, Senator Grassley is 87 years old and was born on September 17th, 1933. Senator Grassley is in his seventh term in the United States Senate. He was first elected in 1980. Remember, a term in the US Senate is 6 years. So he's in his seventh term in the United States Senate. He has been in the United States Senate for over 40 years, and he hasn't decided if he's going to run again for the Senate. That's what he said. And the reason I bring up Senator Chuck Grassley is he said something important about the stimulus today, and he openly admitted that this was going to pass the Senate 51 to 50. Remember, there are 50 Democratic senators and there are 50 Republican senators in the United States Senate. And the tie-breaking vote will be cast by the Vice President Kamala Harris. So he did openly admit that this $1.9 trillion stimulus package was going to pass, but he called it a program for disaster. And these are very important comments from Senator Chuck Grassley, the senior senator from Iowa today. Let's take a look at what he said. He did call this a wish list Democratic bill, the stimulus, but he did admit that it was going to pass 51 to 50. When he was specifically asked to comment on the bill, he made some interesting comments, and this is a sign of things to come. Although we'll see a lot of drama in the next 2 to 3 days, this is going to pass, but not without extreme opposition from the Republicans. Let's roll the tape and hear from Senator Grassley from Iowa. Let's watch.
You know, Senator, it's bad enough for Democrats to say to a man and woman, we're going to need this stimulus. Some balk at the ultimate price figure, and I know you're in that camp as a prominent Republican. But the president will be meeting with the entire Democratic caucus to find a way to get this through. I know you're a no vote on this, and it doesn't look like any Republican at this point would pass this. If that is the case, do you see every Democrat approving this and this ultimately being decided by Kamala Harris, the vice president?
Oh, it'll be a 51 to 50 vote, assuming everybody's there, and I imagine everybody will be there. And it's something that's so different from the 12 months of cooperation we had on fighting the virus, which was basically 5 bipartisan bills that got through almost unanimously in both houses. And then to have this environment come along, which basically is just a bill of a lot of wish list Democrat things that they didn't get in other bipartisan bills, and they got enough votes to do it partisan, so we're going to go for broke. And that's exactly what they're doing, and they're going contrary to the inflationary, anti-inflationary advice that Larry Summers, former Democrat Secretary of Agriculture, president of Harvard University formerly, and outstanding economist, said that you better be careful with the pent-up savings that people have, plus other COVID money that isn't even out of Washington before you get this $1 9/10 billion in it. With the economy gearing up, so probably by April we'll feel very positive about the end of the year. It's not the time to be feeding the flames. And I remember when I first came to Congress, Nixon resigned, and he had us on an inflationary point at that time, and we had 22% interest on car plans as just one example of how out of control it can get just almost overnight. And they aren't heeding the advice of their own liberal Democratic economists.
Now, the reason I'm smiling is because some of the things that Senator Grassley said sort of indicate his age and his experience, and I say that in a good way. I'm not trying to make fun of the senator, but he said that he spoke about the Nixon resignation, and he talked about 22 interest payments on car plans. He didn't say car loans, he said car plans. So, so you have a United States senator talking about the Nixon resignation and car plans and 22% interest. So, you know, these days we pay what? 1-2% interest on car loans, if that, and some of these are 0% APR, but I just thought that was super interesting. Now, let's move on to the next segment with Senator Grassley, where he said, even me, meaning Senator Grassley, even I admit that there are some parts of the economy that need help. He said that I agree that some people are hurting and more money is needed for small businesses and schools, but he said that's a fraction of the 1.9 trillion. By the way, he didn't say 1.9 trillion, he said 1 and 9 tenths. I thought that was another interesting way to say 1.9 trillion. And he said that they're going to ram through this bill with 1 and 9 trillion dollars. So pretty incredible comments from Chuck Grassley. Again, a sign of things to come as far as Republicans are concerned. And he said we will see pent up consumer spending as a result of the increased savings rate. And by the way, it is true that in general the savings rate has gone up. And he said the $1.9 trillion stimulus plan is a program for disaster. Incredible comments from Chuck Grassley, the senior most senator from Iowa, 40 years in the United States Senate. He knows what he's talking about. He's seen it all. Let's roll the tape and hear from Chuck Grassley.
No, they kind of have lost their resolve, but right now the chickens are coming home to roost. And in just a few months, we'll see this pent-up spending or pent-up savings that's going to be spent, and even government spending that's not out there yet. And then you add the 1 and 9 trillion dollars to it that's going to pass by a week from now. It's just a program for disaster.
So you think a week from now, Senator, this is a done deal? This plan is a done deal?
Yeah, I believe so. That's their goal, and they can deliver on it. And Republicans are going to just try to use every opportunity we can to point out how irresponsible it is. And there is, even on Republicans' part, even Chuck Grassley would say there are still some people hurting. There's still some small businesses that maybe need some help. And there might even be some more needed for the schools, K through 12, because of the pandemic. But it would be a fraction of the 1 and 9 tenths, a very small fraction of the 1 and 9 trillion dollars that's in this bill.
So that's it, everyone. Incredible comments from Senator Chuck Grassley from Iowa about the stimulus bill, which is going to pass the Senate, but it is going to be, in his words, a program for disaster. He also mentioned some of the familiar Republican talking points, which is that this is a wish list, a Democrat's wish list. Let me know what you think of the comments from Senator Chuck Grassley, an experienced member of the United States Senate. And please click the like button, subscribe, enable notifications. I would really appreciate that. That really helps out the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for watching. I just want to add one more thing. I think that Senator Grassley thinks that it's raining money for us. It's not raining money, Senator Grassley. I want you to know that there are people out there that have lost their jobs forever. There are individuals in travel, leisure, entertainment, and hospitality that have essentially seen decades of progress wiped out just like that. There are individuals trying to feed their families. There are individuals trying to keep the lights on, trying to pay their bills. And the number of unemployed individuals in the country is well over 10 million. In fact, the U.S. Federal Reserve Chairman, as well as the U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, did say that the unemployment rate was close to 10%. So, Senator Grassley, with all due respect, the problem is much bigger, is more vast than you make it seem. Having said that, there's a lot to be discussed about making the aid more targeted, because at the end of the day, all of us want the dollars to be spent most efficiently so that the money goes to those who need it the most and does not get wasted and does not go to those who simply don't need the money. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. I would really appreciate that. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. I can tell you that Senator Grassley, he's right here. When he watches Ignition Time, he clicks the like button as well. So I'm asking you to do the same. Thanks so much. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.